Hello, my lovelies. I am Stephanie. I am a modern day mystic and I do tarot for a living. And I just got off a call today with someone who brought forth the most beautiful image that I just wanted to share with you. The conversation was about being a business owner and being seen in a society where AI will allow anyone to take your license or your likeness without a license. Here in the United States, we have not yet given every person 100% license to own our likeness. And until that happens, it's a bit of the Wild West, with people being able to do anything they want. And the message came through that if you are 100% authentic, then your authenticity of being truly you is kind of like when they used to have glassware that would have flaws in it intentionally. I can show you an example. So this is pressed glass. See if I can locate my camera. Here, I'll put it under my other camera. And that particular glass was from the World's Fair. It is marked with my grandfather's name, and 1905 is where he got this. And you can examine the glassware and see that there are lines where it was pressed into glass for mass um, uh, uh, distribution. And that uh, was like a new thought back in the day where you wouldn't have glass that had been blown or made by hand, that it was pressed. And so you would, in my childhood, you would hold a glass up and you would say, "Oh, it has bubbles. There's bubbles in the glass." This was handmade. And so it is more valuable because someone put time into it and it's not that newfangled stuff. And the authenticity of the foibles and the mistakes give you provenance of where it came from. And so the more human we can be on the internet, representing ourselves in our business, the less AI can make a copy of a copy of a copy is degradation of purity. And so that was the conversation that came out. But the reason that I'm so moved from this meeting is that there was an image of a completely different type of use of housing environments. And the explanation was, when I imagine the world that I want to live in, the houses that are grandiose, that are just absolute testaments to architecture, beautiful in all ways, are the places where people go into when they have been assaulted. Maybe they would have these beautiful mansions that would be places for people who had maybe been sexually assaulted or had childhood abuse, and they would go into these grandiose places, and each one would be in all the communities, have these beautiful houses in their community, and that would be the community center where trauma-informed professionals would be on site to be right there and for the community who's very well trained to surround someone who's been through a very bad event with another human being and to support them in a very capable way while they go through the process of understanding and deciding how they're going to move on from there. And then all the rest of us, we can live in little ADUs plopped anywhere in the world in the middle of wherever we want to live in our little homes. But when something massive happens, then then I think the equivalent would be the man's man type of personality saying, when I see those 200, 300-year-old log cabin monstrosities on the lake, that would be where a guy a particularly rugged personality would go and be surrounded by other particularly rugged personalities and stay there until they had come to terms with whether difficulty had been processing through their lives. So to talk about architecture and beauty and wonder of construction in our communities, that each community would have some of these places that would be centers of mental and community support in beautiful places where people could go when they're temporarily in struggle or in duress. And then the rest of us just simply live in homes that meet our needs. And then we have the ability to be celebrated in difficulty. So the sentence being, look at that home. That should be a center of solace. That should be a place. And I think that for my own part, I want very much to see that people who have been through difficult times, who've had difficult childhoods, then would be the people who would live on site in these beautiful homes. And if their career and their education and their personality matched for it, they would be the ones who would be the house mother, as it were, or the leader of the campfire, and hold that space as people would come in as needed, and that each community would have these types of places for all the different types of experiences that we have in the world. Anyway, so be authentic to yourself. You have a skill. If you've lived through something difficult, you can hold the fire for someone who's newly going through it, and that's truly what community can offer to us. Was very much the message and the energy that I sat in with this beautiful client today. And I'm just delighted to do my job. So thank you for letting me share what I learned at work today when I sat down with someone who was just saying, gosh, I don't want to be seen on the internet because what will AI do with my image? It's like, be truly who you are and be a beacon of authenticity. And it kind of makes you Teflon. Mm. It was nice to be able to talk about it today. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.